Da, 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 da. I see a check mark. So maybe we'll see. I'll see if somebody comments or something. Yeah. So I don't know. You got some birds there, Katie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I do. It's Mother Nature, man.
No, it's fine. It's all good. All good. All good. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Good to have you back.
It's
All right.
good to be back.
Yeah. Got my coffee tonight. You, Katie, you're not a Rick and Morty fan,
I'm sorry, I'm not.
so you won't get this reference before we start the show. But tonight I'm going to do that thing that I do with the podcast thing.
You're about to witness the strength of creep knowledge.
Good evening. Welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 219. Monster Snapper. She got a monster snapper there, Bob. Returning to the show this evening, the one, the fabulous, fantabulous KT. Hi, Katie.
Hello. Thank you.
How's things over in the flood zone?
Well, we're cleaned up now. There's no longer 3 inches of mud, so that's a plus. And I'm sitting on a lovely new laptop and mic, and I'm super, super grateful.
No problem. Phil says, "Hi, KT. Hope things are going better for you."
Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it.
So it looks like we are on Facebook this evening.
Oh yeah.
So my ban was, I guess, short-lived. I got nailed twice, like right in a row, which was really weird. And I repealed both decisions. I was like, no, I don't agree with either one of these. So I said, I disagree with the decision on both cases. And the next day, the one about the tent came back that they had made a mistake. So that was fine. It was back on Facebook. Everything's wonderful. But then the second one that they nailed me for was do you remember that cartoon where like the dude, it says the do not eat the gel silica packet, and the guy eats it and then he wakes up and he's fucking outside of the simulation because he ate the fucking god. It's just a stupid cartoon.
Sounds funny.
Right. I got nailed for promoting self-harm.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
that's so
right.
Stupid.
Correct. It is indeed stupid, Katie. So I also I repealed both of them. That one did not get overturned. That one stuck. However, when they repealed, when the decision on the first one got repealed, they gave me back everything. So everything else went away. Like they instantly nail your page. So your page is instantly shunted. Like you can't. No one sees it. Your posts go nowhere. And you are basically blacklisted for the time and duration of whatever they deem. Now, the last time I went through this, it was an entire year. I had an entire year of the page not being seen. Like it just wasn't getting distributed to anyone. And I continued to post on it and continued to try to, keep it going. But they did release it. Thank fucking God. And it looks like because I see that Phil was commenting from Facebook that we are actually live on Facebook tonight, because that was one of the things that they did. They took away my ability to go live on Facebook as well. So it is what it is when it comes to these platforms.
I feel like them admitting the first one was a mistake was a win. I don't think that happens a whole lot.
It doesn't fucking happen often. I can tell you that from experience. It doesn't happen often. More often than not, you disagree with them and they just come back and say, yeah, that doesn't fucking matter. We're not doing anything about it. Fuck
Right.
you. So I've gotten used to that. I've gotten used to that being the case. So I just take it as it is. It is what it is. So yeah, it is another week of the world as it is. There's still a war going on, I guess. The fucking U.S. is going to shit. I guess nobody gives a fuck about that. Nobody gives a sweet shit that this place is just falling the fuck apart. I love them. This is this is one of the biggest cases of fucking misdirection. David Copperfield couldn't have fucking pulled off this type of misdirection that is going on right now. Like, oh, look over here, you see this war, this is what's causing all the problems. Oh yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. God, I just want to scream most days. I just want to scream. And I don't watch a lot of news either. That's the thing. I don't watch a lot of news. I pay moderate attention to anything anymore because I get so angry.
Yeah, everything you see feels leading.
Everything is fucking gross.
It is.
It's fucking gross. I people that I used to be able to watch, I can't, because of certain things that they hold on to that I know are total bullshit. Like if they even start going down those roads, I'm like, fuck you. Just shut up. You ignorant fucking cocksucker. Like that's just where my brain goes. So but I see the times right now, this fucking 1984 fucking state. It's weird. It's a weird time.
It's been feeling like that, but it feels like that more and more.
And I don't feel like if there was a different party in control that anything would be any different. I feel like it would be just leaned in the other direction. And for me, this whole fucking system it's just fucking gross. It's gross. So this is my weekly rant about America in the here and now. You're welcome. I was telling Katie before the show, got through Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey, the wonderful new documentary about the fundamentalist Mormons under, what was it, Warren Jeffs, I think his fucking name was.
Sounds about right. Name sounds very familiar.
Yeah. This fucking I don't even know when it comes to these people. So I've looked at a lot of different religions over the years. And you tend to find among the religions that there's a central thread, if you will, a common thread. All these things, they all lead to this one fucking place, basically, for the most part. Pretty common. And along comes Joseph Smith, who's basically a con man. And brings out this fucking wild story of, the Bible 2.0 in the Americas. Like what Joseph Smith did is the equivalent of them bringing out Billy Banks from those fucking old infomercials with fucking the fucking OxyClean and shit,
Yeah.
and being like, but wait, there's more.
That's super accurate.
Yeah. Like this is what they basically fucking did. Is created this wacky, to me, and this is if you hold your beliefs to be Mormon, first of all, and I said this to Katie before the show too, if you're listening to this show and you're Mormon, shame on you. Just fucking shame on you. But sorry, but this is how I feel about the whole thing. It's a fucking sham. I feel like the dude took a premise that was already set down and just added to it. It would be like fucking taking Lord of the Rings and being like, oh, hey, I've got a fourth book, that I'm just gonna slap on the end here. No worries. No worries. I'm just gonna slap this on the end here. And we're gonna call it good. I don't. That doesn't fly with me. This whole idea of I made it up, because that's basically what it is. I was told by God. Were you? And I verify this how. It was written on gold plates, but you've never fucking presented them. So when I hear of a religion that's like this, and I'm sorry, but everything I hear about the Mormon religion makes it feel like the women are less than.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I maybe I'm reading that wrong, but like the fucking dude is the priest holder. Like the woman can't be. Like, what is she? Just the fucking thing that takes the dick, spits out the children?
Pretty
I
much.
mean, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. And these FLDS people who follow these ideas of polygamy, which also Joseph Smith, laid down.
Right.
Albeit very fucking, he was sneaky about it because he knew no one would accept it.
Yes. He's very delicate in the way
Oh yeah.
he brings it in. Which just makes it even more gross,
Yeah, and a lot of these sects of these these groups of FLDS people are marrying underage girls.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point where it's fucking illegal. I mean, there are some legalities. So in a lot of states, a girl can get married at the age of like 16.
Right.
But there's been cases where they've been marrying these girls at like 14 and 13. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the fucking Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey, this dude was fucking a 12-year-old.
Ugh.
It's just gross. It's just fucking gross. On so many levels. And as you know, as a parent, for one, I just worry about my kids ever getting wrapped up in that shit. I mean, my kids are pretty much grown up at this point, and they're pretty settled in what they believe. I'm pretty sure they're all not very religious, but you never know. People
Well,
convert to shit.
right. Well, and it's even grosser because it's all in the name of God.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, it's such a bastardization of it's
But
just
again though, Katie, you have to admit that sometimes that it gets bastardized in all walks of religion.
yes, absolutely.
But I agree with you in this case too. Like this is one of those cases where it definitely does.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and it's scary. Like, have you like really looked into LDS stuff?
Not in the recent but yes, I have. That's something I've dove into before, and I don't know,
It gets really weird. Like, so, like the dude of the house, like, is supposedly like the only person that talks to God. Like that's the person that can talk to God, and
right,
like they lay down the law. Like, and everybody else has to obey the priest holder, which is the dude.
right. And the young men are like conditioned to grow up to hold that position. And once
Right.
they get older, they kind of end up having a higher
Unless
position than even the other women in the household.
Katie, they're in an FLDS society, and there's too many of them, then they just ship them off
Yeah.
because they get too many boys, and they don't need boys. They need
Right.
girls because they have like 20 fucking 5 wives.
So gross.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, what was it? One of them had like at the end, I can't remember what the number was. It was an insane number of wives. I was like, how?
Right.
How does that
Well,
fucking make sense?
and I will say, I think there are some different sects of Mormonism that don't take on
Oh,
that
yeah.
aspect of it for sure. They're not
Yeah.
all so to that extreme.
Right. And so, okay, listening to some of these people like that grew up in these uh, uh polygamist families, it was all very normal for them,
Right.
and you, it's weird to hear people normalize that when they speak about it, but you have to take a step back and understand that they grew up that way.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
I
for them to
understand.
talk about it in that fashion, like it was just normal everyday shit. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Like I can totally get that. I can break from uh I can break from my judgment on it to be able to look at it objectively, you know. But it's crazy. The whole thing is fucking crazy. I mean, I don't know how I don't know how people get I don't know how people get sucked in. I've watched people get sucked into it. And I don't know how that happens.
Right.
It's just a weird, I don't know, it's a weird thing.
I've only ever met one Mormon person when I was younger, and he was born into it. And he clearly felt very weird about it. We were very young teenagers. So that's my only in-person experience with it. But
I
I remember getting a very weird vibe,
I had a friend whose brother converted to Mormonism because of a woman. Like they found Mormonism together. I think it was in rehab or through rehab or something like that, I want to say. And they wound up moving out to Utah, whole 9 yards. Long story short, Katie, that all fell apart. And they came home.
Wow. Oh, they both came home?
If I remember correctly, yeah, I think they both came home, but I don't remember the whole story. It was, but yeah, that was my only, my only in-person contact with anyone of that faith, and it was very short-lived. I only met his brother like briefly.
Yeah.
And I didn't have much. We didn't have much in the way of conversations or anything like that.
Right.
But I find the whole thing to be eerie, like the idea that this is the only person that can make decisions.
Yeah.
And so like I've been in relationships. I'm in one now. Yeah, that's not the way it works. Like that's not how you do things. Like it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I don't think.
It's also like a breeding ground for toxicity, when it's so one-sided like that, it's so easy for that to go bad,
Yeah. Frank Smith joined us tonight. Frank says, thankfully that Smith is no relation. Funny joke, Frank. Funny joke. I'll give you that one. I don't even have one wife. They must be greedy feckers. And in rehab, what was the addiction? Couldn't stop getting new wives. Could have been. Phil says, Phil switched platforms. Phil decided Facebook wasn't good enough. So he needed to come over to YouTube. God exists only for the purpose to support the group, not the one. Not to support Neo? Are we in the Matrix, Phil? Is that what you're telling me? Because here's what I'll tell you right now. You didn't tell me a goddamn thing in the fucking UFO video.
Yeah.
Not a goddamn thing. Thank you.
He didn't even comment and confirm if my assertion was correct. And I didn't appreciate it. I wanted answers, Phil.
So here, let me clue everybody in. Since I was kind enough to clue everybody in on my conversation with one Steve Alcorn, pre-show. I will clue everybody in on my conversation with Phil after he sent me the UFO at Miami Air Show video that he did. My response after I watched the video was, okay, what the fuck is it, Phil? To which he replied, I have no idea.
Okay, fair.
I have no idea.
I think it's a bird.
I don't fucking know. He did give another explanation, but I'm not going to go into it. If he wants to try to explain what it is that he was trying to say to me in a video, possibly, then maybe that would be helpful for everyone involved.
That would be lovely.
I don't think he wants to do videos anymore. I think Phil is a sans video.
Bummer.
Yeah. I think the recent events have ruined Phil. Recent UFO events have ended it. They've made
It's
it not
unfortunate.
fun. It's not even worth it anymore. The anal probes will go on. Phil's breakdowns will not. So, butt
Womp
probes,
womp.
good. Breakdowns, bad. Just keep that in mind, folks, at all times. And supposedly, if these things are real, the anal probes are being done by robots. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. What do robots want to stick things in your ass for? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And over,
robots had to be programmed by somebody, though, right?
is this some kind of sick joke, Katie?
I think it is. I don't want to be probed.
Because I look at it this way. Aliens have been coming here for a long time. If in fact it's true. And if they've been probing us for this long, like it's been since like the 60s.
Right.
If they haven't figured it out by now,
Right. Why are they still probing us, man?
there's a problem. I think the time is over. Like, figure it the fuck out, aliens.
Well,
Nobody's got time for shit in their ass all the
th-
time.
this
Like
might be
every once in a while, as like a treat. Sometimes people like that, but all the time, no.
No, I don't think so, Chris.
Some people do, Katie.
Ah,
There
okay.
are, listen. There's a portion of you may not be one of those people, Katie,
I'm
but
not.
there are people who are into that kind of thing. You got to give it to those people.
Yeah, but even by like an alien who you know nothing about and you don't trust, don't you need like a safe word for that kind of shit?
Katie, people have rape fantasies.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
this is
I'm
it's
just
a weird
saying.
world we live in. It's a weird world we live in. People are strange when you're
Well,
a stranger.
I find solace in the
Faces
fact.
look ugly when you're wrong. I'm sorry.
No, that was good. No, I find solace in the fact that I don't know a single person who's been probed by an alien. And that might be naive of me, but I find comfort in it.
Yeah, I don't know of anyone. I've never met an anally probed victim.
No.
In this world. I've met more Mormons than I've
Me too.
met people who have been abducted by aliens and had things stuck in their ass.
Although who knows? Maybe they're just too afraid to come out and say it. And that's the problem.
Could be. I could
We
have
just
met
don't
many.
know.
I could have met many. Or maybe they had their minds wiped.
Oh, yeah, like some Men in Black shit.
Yeah. That's possible.
That sounds feasible.
Stare into the pen thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. That could be like, you've met a serial killer and you don't know it.
Oh, right. Ugh, I hate thinking about that.
That's very possible. It's very possible you have.
Ugh.
Isn't that weird?
Yes, I've encountered some creepy people in my life too, where it's like, man.
Yeah, but it's usually not the creepy people.
I know. Ew, don't tell me that. I know that, but don't tell me that.
It's usually like the fucking normal fucking people. It's usually not the creepy people.
Right.
So it's the people that blend in.
Yeah.
They can fake the emotions really well.
Sociopaths.
Yep. It is a weird world to live in, and I mean, to get back kind of to the keep sweet, pray and obey thing. I people are monsters. This dude that was having sex with these fucking extremely underage girls, and not to say that the ones who were just underage weren't bad enough. I find it kind of weird. I'm okay. And I will be in a minority here. I find it odd when a 30-something, upwards of 40, 50-year-old guy is dating like a 20-year-old.
Yeah. No, I agree with that fully.
I don't care that she's of legal age. I find it odd.
Yes.
When I was in my early 30s, I had an 18-year-old girl that had a crush on me and tried to have a relationship with me. I couldn't fucking do it. It was too fucking weird for me. So
But that makes
that
you a normal and a good person, Chris.
I don't know if that's what it makes me. I'm not gonna put any labels on anything, Katie. I know that I find that type of behavior to be weird,
Yeah.
to be strange, and to be outside of what I would consider to be norm. And I, like I said, I just couldn't do it. And when I see people getting married to, multiple women, and it's, this woman's 20 and this woman's 23 and this woman's 16 and this, and this girl is, 14, 13. What the fuck is going on here? And I mean, what the fuck is going on anyway? Regardless of all that, it's just the whole fucking situation's weird. I don't understand it. I don't understand. It's like it's a huge power pull. I don't know. Explain it to me, Katie.
I can't. And honestly, the part that grosses me out is all the complicit adult women, which were probably raised in the same scenario, but I struggle with that too.
They were raised to be those women.
I know.
So
I
that's
know.
that's why the documentary was called "Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey." His father, the Rulon Jeffs, they called him Uncle Rulon or some shit like that. That was what he used to say to the women, to the girls: keep sweet and obey.
So gross.
Like that's like that was the mantra for the girls. And that's why I have this huge problem with the idea of the whole idea of Mormonism, is that, and I don't want to sound like this is just a bash of Mormonism. I'm sure there are Mormons out there that are really nice people. I'm sure you find upstanding citizens, whatever. Like I said, if you're listening to this fucking show, shame on you. But I see that type of behavior, that the girls need to be obedient to their male counterparts. That seems really odd to me. That doesn't seem right. Maybe I'm too progressive. Okay.
Oh, I'm not very progressive, and that don't seem right to me either.
It seems fucked up. Seems fucked up. I mean, I don't understand it. Why do you need to have these subservient women? Why is that a necessity? And have so many of them too. When it comes to the FLDS guys, who have to have like fucking upwards of, I don't know, fucking many. Some of them, I think one of them was like 70 something.
Jeez. See, that's not even maintainable.
It's fucking crazy. It was crazy. I'm guessing. I can't remember exactly, Katie. I'm guessing on that one. And I just watched it yesterday, which is horrible.
Well, to me,
My memory's
even
shit.
saying 7 would have been outrageous.
Oh, you should have seen the Rulon Jeff's funeral. All of his fucking wives,
Yes,
all
I think I
around
have
his
seen that before,
casket.
actually.
Oh my fucking God.
It's so weird. I can't.
Yeah. And and to hear these women talk about when they got married off to him and how violated they felt when he touched them. Like, even though they grew up in this society.
Yeah, it's still.
But here's the
didn't
worst
feel
part
right.
about it, Katie. most of them weren't told anything about sex, or were told that sex was disgusting and a horrible thing. So that when these men who they were fucking married off to did these things to them, they thought it was wrong.
Right.
Like, how fucked up is that?
It's so messed up to even imagine the things spinning through those young girls' minds is just so horrifically sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's all in the name of God.
All in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. And you know, that's the part that, you know, makes it, because people buy into their faith, mind, body, and soul. And when you use that against someone in that way, I find that to be an even more creepy invasion than any other thing.
Yeah. It's like the ultimate betrayal to
Yeah, because
weaponize faith.
right, because you're all in.
Yeah.
And so the betrayal is even worse in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And betrayal is betrayal. Let's not, you know, tomato. I'm not trying to fucking, but it just, there's something about it when it's done in this type of a way. And to hear these women talk about it, like this one woman talks about her ordeal where she was married off at 14, to this other guy, her cousin. She was married off to her cousin, and he goes to fucking take her to bed, and she's like, this is wrong. Like, we're not supposed to be doing this. And he's like, you're my wife. Like, it's just hearing her testimony and everything. It's fucking brutal. It was really brutal. It was not, it was, and that's why I say many times, said it before, I'll say it again. I'll say it many, many times over and over and over. The real monsters are the fucking people, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
The real monsters are the fucking people that you walk by on the street every day. That's where the monsters are. They're not some fucking, you know, dinosaur in a movie. It's not fucking King Kong or fucking Godzilla. It's not Bigfoot. It's not the Loch Ness Monster. It's fucking people. People are horrific. And listen, every once in a while, is there an animal monster? Yes. You know, wolves do some crazy shit every so often. Lions, you know, there's some shit that happens. But by and fucking large, people, they're fucking monsters. And they do creepy fucking ass shit. Creepy shit. Who's that woman that got killed there, Katie? There's the video. Nobody knows who killed her. It's in the church. I can't think of her name right now. God damn it.
A video of it?
Yeah, there's video of the person.
Oh, the Missy Beavers.
Missy Beavers. Fucking, you want to see fucking a monster? Just look at that fucking video.
Right. And
Just
that was
look
in
at
a
the video.
church.
Look at the video of that person waltzing through that fucking church, just fucking checking rooms and checking doors, and the first time I watched that video, it made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. It was that creepy. Because you know that this person who is walking all throughout this fucking church is going to fucking kill her. You know it's coming. It's just a matter of time. But
Yeah.
you're not going to see it. You know, they don't show it on there,
Right.
obviously. Like, they didn't fucking put that nugget in there.
Well, I don't think any of the cameras actually captured the full
Pick
event.
that up. It was in the wrong room. But
It's even creepier to watch because you also know that through the investigation, they got zero clues about who this person was. Like they were legitimately slinking through this building on camera, but yet here we are a decade later or whatever. We
and they
still don't
know.
know who this motherfucker. They don't even know if it was a man or a woman. Still,
Yeah, there's no clue. No clue if it was a dude. No clue if it was a chick. No fucking clue.
it breaks your brain to think about, and
Yeah, but then you'll watch fucking an episode of CSI or fucking Law and Order, and they wrap it up in an hour.
You're right, nice and pretty with a bow.
Yeah,
Makes you feel good when you go to bed at night.
yeah. No, that's not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, no. That's why I say, people are the fucking monsters.
Yeah.
We see this shit all the time. And I love this stuff. I love looking into like, Bigfoot and ghosts and UFOs and the supernatural and the paranormal. I love this shit with a passion. Make no mistake about that. I love it. But by and large, it's all there's very little of it. Very fucking little that you can look at and go, that's there might be something there. There's very little of that. It's mostly just people being dickheads. Which is why I've said, when they talk about on Ancient Aliens, well, people drew it because they saw it. Or somebody's a cocksucker. Or, little fucking Ubuntu or whatever the fuck his name was, wherever, back whenever, decided I'm going to draw this fucked up thing and make people wonder.
Right.
It could be that.
Creativity is a part of the human condition. So to think that the humans back then weren't creative and expressed themselves through art.
It baffles me that we immediately have to go to, it was this, it couldn't have been this.
Right.
But I love the stuff. I always will.
Yeah, it's fun.
Bar none, I'm gonna love this shit. It started for me, age fucking what was it, 10 11 10. I was in 4th grade. Remember, I was in the 4th grade, and the teacher I had in the 4th grade had a little fucking bookshelf in the back of the fucking classroom, and during reading time, if we didn't have a book to read that we brought in with us, we could go back on the shelf and grab a book. And there was a book back there. It was basically about cryptids. I can't remember what the fucking book was called, but there was a story in it about Bigfoot. There was a story in it about the Thunderbird. There was a story in it about the Mothman, the Jersey Devil. It went down through the litany of fucking creatures. And I loved grabbing that fucking book. And just, I must have read through that book in that year, I don't know how many different times. And that's one of the things, that and seeing the Patty film. I can't remember where I saw it. It was probably on that Sunday afternoon, fucking one of those weird creature features fucking shows where they actually showed shit about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That I saw that. It was, I guarantee it was on a Sunday afternoon. So between those two things, I was hooked on that type of phenomena. And then you had the Satanism craze that came through in the late 80s, early 90s. That, of course, had me looking into like witchcraft and shit like that. I've always been into this shit. And I always will be. But with a fucking rational mind. Because I'm not an ignorant asshole. I don't I don't stick my head in the sand and go looking for shit. That's not how you do it. You know, I have to have some rationality about myself when I'm doing this, when I'm looking at these things. So I can't just look at every fucking Bigfoot encounter and go, oh, Bigfoot. You know, which most people do. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That most people question nothing until it is absolutely certain that they can't not question it. You know, it's been proven beyond all doubt that, hey, this is fucking bullshit. But, you know, it really can tear you down being involved in this type of thing. Like, I've been doing this now, the show. It's what, 2022? Been doing this since 2013. Almost 10 years. It's 9 years this year. Almost 10 years.
I think my T-shirt says 2012.
2012?
I think it
Did I
does.
start in 2012?
I'm pretty sure that's what my T-shirt says, but I could be mistaken. All things strange since 2012.
Did I put 2012 on there? I may have misprinted that.
I
may
could
have
be wrong
misprinted
too,
that.
Chris. My brain is a potato, so
That's hey, it happens. It happens. I'm pretty sure it was 2013 that I started the show because that was the year that I went out to Sacramento. I want to say 2013. So if I did put 2012 on there, that was a miss. That was a mistake. A mistake. That was a mistake.
it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it does happen. So, anyhow, babbled on enough about that. I did, I didn't go into it too much, but people, if you're into that weird Mormonism shit, if you want to check it out, that Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey is it's a fucking weird one to watch.
I will definitely be checking it out.
Yeah, Phil says 2013 was when we started. Yeah, I know. I'm well aware, Phil. It was 2013. I just don't know what I put on the shirt.
Yeah, me neither. I could totally be wrong. You should probably just ignore me.
First show was the lawsuit. He's not. I don't think he's talking about the T-shirt though.
Oh.
So anyhow, we'll jump into the fucking news now, Katie. And speaking of the big guy, old PO.UK thermal camera footage shows Bigfoot peeking around tree, say researchers. Researchers behind a documentary series about the legendary Bigfoot believe they have thermal camera footage of the mysterious ape man cautiously looking back at them. A team of documentary makers claim to have video footage of Bigfoot carefully looking out from behind a tree. The researchers who are making a series about the legendary ape man were using a thermal camera, and the human or ape-like figure seen in the film is a heat signature. Commenters discussing the video on a Reddit Bigfoot group say it couldn't be a human hoaxer in a gorilla suit, as this wouldn't register on an infrared camera. And for the record, they are correct. We tested that theory with someone in a suit. Phil was there. It doesn't come up. A suit of the kind critics say is used in some faked videos would tend to mask the wearer's heat signature. It would. As reported by the Daily Star, the video was shot for the Travel Channel's Expedition Bigfoot. The hugely popular series follows a team of researchers as they try to find solid evidence of America's Yeti. The team is led by Mireya Mayer, a noted anthropologist and wildlife correspondent, who found a previously undiscovered species of lemur, Madagascar. Undiscovered species of lemur, Madagascar. That's a weird way to write that. And has co-written several scientific papers on lemur species. Throughout my career, several Bigfoot researchers had approached me about questions they have about prints they found, but I felt this was an opportunity to conduct a proper scientific investigation into the subject matter of Bigfoot, she said. For me, Mireya added, it was a very natural fit. What I liked very much about the premise of this expedition is that it would be a team of experts with very different skill sets and backgrounds working together in one particular hotspot. Anyway, I suppose it's supposed to be on the new expedition, whatever. Something. I don't fucking know. It's supposed to be on something. Know anything about this thermal footage, Katie?
No, I do not.
There they go. God, I hate this place in the summertime. It fucking sucks. But yeah, I guess I have not seen this said thermal footage. I will have to
Does
look
the
into
article not link it?
I think it's going to be shown in the new documentary
Oh,
/
okay.
TV show.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's in there. But
We'll have
as
to look out
always,
for that.
yeah, I'll have to fucking look out for that one for sure. Our next story of the evening from Time.com. America's best astrophysicists are taking UFOs seriously. Maybe you should too. NASA has spent more than 60 years flying UFOs. Every spacecraft that ever visited the moon, landed on Mars, buzzed by Jupiter, orbited Saturn, or reconnoitered Pluto would be a decidedly identified flying object to any alien intelligence that might encounter it. There may be no such intelligence beyond Earth in our solar system, but in interstellar space, that's another question. That's why the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 probes, which left the solar system in 2012 and 2018, respectively, carry golden records on their sides, etched with coded sounds and pictures from Earth, a message in a bottle to any civilization that might one day encounter the ships and want to learn more about the curious species that launched them. UFOs, or UAPs, as they're more decorously called today, have frequently been in the news lately. As I reported just last month, the House Intelligence Committee's Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, and Counterproliferation Subcommittee conducted public hearings on more than 140 sightings by military pilots over the past 20 years of UAPs flying in all manner of inexplicable ways, bobbing, weaving, hovering, diving, changing direction with head snapping speed that would produce potentially deadly G-forces to any living being, or at least any living human being inside. Like I said, people, robots are anally probing you. Look at that thing, dude, one pilot shouted in a declassified recording made during a 2015 sighting. Oh my gosh, there's a whole fleet of them. They're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots west. The congressional hearing followed the release last year of a similar Department of Defense study of UAPs, and both Congress and the Pentagon came to the same conclusion, which was basically, beats me. The objects could be natural phenomena, misinterpreted by the pilots and their equipment. They could be a new technology developed by Russia, China, or another high technology power. And yes, they could, in theory at least, be extraterrestrial in origin. UAPs are unexplained, it's true, Congressman and Committee Chairman Andre Carson, Democrat from Indiana, said in his opening statement during the House hearings, but they are real. Now there's a third government agency getting involved in the effort to explain UAPs, NASA itself. As the space agency announced this week, it's launching its own investigation beginning in the fall to get to the bottom of the UAP mystery. The effort will be led by astrophysicist David Spergel, former chair of the astrophysics department at Princeton University. Budgeted at a bargain rate of just $100,000, the study will run for 9 months, analyze all available video data and firsthand accounts amassed so far, and consult both military and civilian experts for their analysis of the evidence. The space agency is open to any and all interpretations of the data, though it is setting a high bar for at least one. Yeah. And I'm going to stop it right there. It goes on a little further, but NASA's jumping in the fucking game. The UFO game, Katie. They're jumping in.
I feel like they should have jumped in a long time ago, but
yeah. I feel like a lot of this is like just like, oh, like that dude that's like people have been doing stuff for like months, and he's like, oh yeah, me too. You know, just like jumping on board. Like that's what this all feels like with the government and NASA. It doesn't feel like it's that they're doing anything or even that
Right.
they're reacting. It doesn't even feel like a reaction.
It feels like a smoke screen to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like a fucking just
And
misdirection.
I feel insane even having to say that. You know what I mean? Like, it's gross to even say that, but like, if I square up with myself, that's how I feel. So,
Yeah. I get that. I completely get that. Our next story of the evening from liverpoolecho.co.uk. Chair captured moving by itself in haunted hotel bedroom in eerie footage. The hotel is said to be home to 13 tormented souls, Katie. A hotel in one of the most haunted cities in the UK has seen more spooky activity as a rocking chair was captured moving by itself. Ye Old King's Head on Lower Bridge Street is said to be home to 13 ghosts that are haunting the building and dates back to 1622. The ghosts are believed to be the tormented souls of Civil War soldiers, Roman soldiers, and young children and women who worked there when it was a brothel. Cheshire Live reports. But an eerie moment, the latest of paranormal happenings, was captured by the owners of what is arguably Chester's most haunted hotel. The chair, which has a creepy doll sitting on it, sits in room 6 of the hotel and is seen moving by itself. The footage was captured shortly before 3:30 p.m. with no guests in the hotel. Looking closely at the footage, it could also be suggested the lights were flickering at one point. Paranormal investigator Danny Moss, who has joined Harry and fellow team member Brett Jones to work on the My Haunted Hotel project at Ye Old King's Head, said they had been stunned to see the footage of the rocking chair and even attempted to debunk it. He said it's become such a huge attraction locally. It's the 9th week of the cameras being installed now, and the activity we have captured on camera has been phenomenal. We found the footage of the rocking chair moving at 3:28 p.m. in the afternoon when there were no guests in the hotel. Harry got a notification on his phone saying there was movement in room 6. Woo! I don't see any video. It looks like it is, but the video just keeps queuing up, or I'd show it. But if you go to liverpoolecho.co.uk, I think you can look at the chair and possibly the video as well. I'm always up for a ghost story if it's true. I mean, I don't know about you.
yeah, I don't want to say I'm not, but I very rarely find it serious enough for me.
Yeah,
I'm a hard sell.
right. Well, here's the thing: like ghost stories that you hear about in the media or in pop culture, they are generally a hard sell, and like based on true events, movies or whatever, they're also a fucking hard sell. Ghost stories don't present well unless you've lived through it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those weird things. There are a lot of other types of mediums I don't want to say mediums, situations that present really well. Like, for some reason, you watch a movie about an alien abduction or something, it presents well.
Yeah.
You know, people buy into that. Or you watch a story, a documentary about Bigfoot or something. It presents well. You know, that ghost stories, not so much because it's insubstantial. A lot of
Yeah.
times it's very insubstantial. Phil decided to chime in. Spooky is cool.
Spooky
Thanks,
is
Phil.
cool.
Thanks, Phil. Glad you could join us. How about that UFO video? Any idea? Oh, still nothing? Great. Thanks. You're the best.
Crickets.
You and fucking Steve. You're both the best. Anywho, our next fucking story of the evening. Our last story of the evening, Katie. The title story of the evening from Newsweek.com. monster snapper caught by Texas spear fishermen could shatter the world record. A spear fisherman has caught what has been described as a potential world record-setting fish in the Gulf of Mexico. The fish is a 137-pound Cubera snapper caught on June 3rd by Braden Sharon, who was spear fishing while free diving, meaning diving underwater without the use of any breathing equipment. News and photos of his catch were posted to Facebook by Port Aransas Fisherman's Wharf, which wrote, "Shout out to Braden Sharon for this with this pending Texas and world record-breaking Cubera snapper. We are so thankful he chose Port Aransas Fisherman's Wharf to weigh and take pictures of this monster of a Cubera snapper." Photos show Sharon standing with the large gray and orange fish and also show it being weighed. Fish records are not always simple. State records in Texas are split into different categories based on the method with which they were caught and whether it was a freshwater or saltwater catch. The rod and reel state saltwater records per Texas Parks and Wildlife show the heaviest Cubera snapper, listed at 131 pounds, was caught in 1983. At the same time, in Texas Parks and Wildlife also states that heaviest saltwater Cubera snapper caught by other methods was a 151-pound fish caught by handline in 1984. However, the International Game Fish Association states that the heaviest all-tackle Atlantic Cubera snapper was caught in Louisiana in 2007 and weighed 124 pounds and 12 ounces. By this measure, Sharon's catch will be a world record. It's not clear why there is a discrepancy in the figures. Newsweek has contacted IGFA for comment. In any case, Sharon's catch is currently pending. The Cubera snapper, also known as the Cuban snapper, is a fish that lives in the western Atlantic Ocean from Nova Scotia down to Brazil, though it's rarely seen above Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. That's pretty interesting. They don't show the fucking picture of it here anywhere.
They're crazy looking fish, man. They're huge.
Yeah, they have fucking video, but they don't have a fucking picture of it, or I'd fucking pop it up.
They honestly look like a gigantic human-sized version of a boring old fish you'd catch out of my boring little freshwater lake out here. Like,
Just monster.
yes, just like a monstrous me size. Like, it's the
Like
size of me.
like what you'd expect. Like what you'd expect if like nuclear fucking waste got poured into the fucking lake.
Yeah, it's creepy.
It's a big ass shit. Anywho, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the news and the show for the week. Because I'm fucking sweating my ass off in here tonight. Holy fuck. I gotta fucking get better fucking ventilation in this shit, Katie. I need more air movement, something. Actually, I gotta put in the I gotta start turning on the AC. It's getting pretty bad. But yeah, it's good to have Katie back. It was fun having Steve do the show for a couple of weeks, but it's definitely good to have you back.
Thank you, and I do appreciate Steve covering for me. I did need the time, so thank you.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm glad everything's working out great. The new equipment's all good, and we got you fucking back in the saddle. So
yes, and I cannot say thank you enough to anyone who contributed to that, and Chris for doing it all. I am so moved by the whole thing. It means a lot.
Amy says thank you. Hope things
Thank
are better
you.
today.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Yeah, Amy was one of those people. So
It means the world to me.
Yeah, so we will be back next week. I don't know what we will be talking about. I'm going to try to nail down. I do have more time on my plate right now with my new schedule. I'm working 3 days a week now, which is really fucking nice. So I will have more time to be able to work on some of this stuff. I do need to sit down and look at some topics and try to hammer out some stuff. But hey, as always, everybody, if you are a fan of this fucking show, go over, Subscribe to the podcast. Go to anchor.fm/the Fortean Slip. Go wherever podcasts may be found. Download the fucking shows. Even if you listen live, download the fucking show. Support the fucking show, people. And go over, I suppose, to facebook.com/the Fortean Slip and follow and like and do whatever until they fucking ban me yet again. Which I'm sure won't be fucking long away from right now, the way they've been doing it lately. So, Phil says next week, Oak Island. Fuck Oak Island. Is that fucking treasure bullshit?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
Fuck that goddamn island and those douchebags.
I
that
haven't
keep
watched
trying-
the most recent season, but I have to admit, I watched that one.
That shows like that are, to me, are like a sports car at age 45. They're a midlife crisis.
Yeah. Well, the show has so much potential to be better than it is. It's just really exhausting to watch because it's made for, the History Channel. So it's that kind of show.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just I'm not a fan of that fucking whole Oak Island bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
I haven't
not-
watched
that's
it in
not-
a while. So
That's not one I get into. I get it. I mean, I get that people are like, oh, there's a fucking pirate treasure or whatever. I don't fucking know.
well, and
what
the
they
things
think.
these guys are doing is pretty cool. And it is really cool to see these guys that are passionate about it and they're investing, it's like a huge hobby that's costing them millions of dollars. I don't know.
Right.
That's cool.
I guess that's a way to spend your money.
I wish I had that kind of money.
Like, if I had fuck you money, I'm not going to Oak Island, right?
No,
Like,
yeah.
that's my thing. Like, if I got fuck you money,
I'm
that's
going to
not what I'm doing.
Fiji. That's
Right.
what I'm doing.
Right. Like, I look at like people like Elon Musk and I'm like, if I had fuck you money, I'm not trying to go to Mars.
Yeah, but he's one of those like different
Like,
minds type of people.
I'm not trying to build the best electric car. If I get fuck you money, I'm like, where's the best weed?
Right.
Like, that's where my mind goes. Where's the best weed and where's the best place for me to chill out and read my book?
Well, I have to admit, that's why I'm very thankful that there's people smarter than me. Because that's exactly the kind of thing that my mind goes to too. But
Right.
I'm
like,
glad
fucking-
there's people that do smarter things than me.
Yeah. Because I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
I look at, I'm fucking 46. I'm good. Let's just chill out. Like, I got fucking plenty of books to read. Let's find the fucking best weed to smoke. Let's find some nice, comfortable chairs, some good drinks, and yeah. See how long we can do that for.
Right.
I don't know why that's where my fucking brain goes.
No,
But that's
get
where
it.
it goes.
I get it.
like-
Because right now I feel like I'm going to invest all of my intelligence on solving my flooding problem. And then I'm going to sit my happy ass in this unflooded house and live a happy life. And I don't need to exert anything else.
Yeah,
after that.
and not do much of fucking nothing.
Right. Yeah,
Right?
but that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like people ask me what I do nowadays, and I'm just like, I'm a homebody.
Ah,
I don't do anything. I don't go anywhere. I avoid going to the movies.
yeah, we went on
You know,
opening
and-
night to Jurassic World, and I hate going to shit on opening night. It was terrible.
Ugh.
I mean, the movie was great, actually. It was wonderful, but experience,
I've heard mixed reviews, so
I loved it.
no. Well,
And I don't even like movies, so it's saying something.
yeah, I do know this about you.
Oh.
Anywho, so we'll be back next week with something. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be fucking something, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Until next Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See ya.